Hi.
What is your name and what do you do for a living?
My name is Karla Long, and I work for the state of Indiana, and I love my job, and that's all I can talk about that.
Alright, understandable. I'm going to roll the dice. Whatever question, whatever number comes up, is the one you have to answer.
Right.
You rolled a 20. Okay. Number 20. If you had 1 year left to live, God, whoever you believe in, comes down and tells you you have exactly 1 year from today to live. And there's no escaping it. How will you spend that last year?
No, that's easy. With all my family and friends, doing as much as I can possibly do to give everybody memories. I mean, we would probably, I don't know, definitely go see places together. So there's a lot of memories and everything to have. I mean, because if I've only got a year left, I might as well spend my money, right? But making sure that you and your sister, because I mean, you are my son, but you and your sister, making sure that you guys have plenty of memories and that you guys are okay for it when I go.
Okay. Is there any special place in particular you would love to go? Let's just say you don't have to worry about money. You can just go there right now.
Oh, well, shoot. We'd go to Italy first. We would take a 2 to 3 week trip, you know, and just explore everything in Italy, from Tuscany to Naples to Sicily. And then we'd go to France, see everything there. We might as well stay over in Europe and go to England, go to London and Wales. And I mean, we have family supposedly still there. And I would love to see in Italy, I would love to see the Pearly Castle, because supposedly that's part of our family. After that, Germany, do Germany. And then, of course, we'd have to go to Japan for everybody. For you guys, for just the sheer thing of it being able to go to Japan, but for me, it'd be all the vending machines. I'm like all stuck about wanting to see all the vending machines in Japan.
Okay.
Plus, I want to do a capsule hotel.
Hey, to be fair, that is my interesting thing about it.
Right.
But I'm just curious, why you chose Italy first? You list off all those other countries, but Italy was the first thing you thought of, besides the Pearly Castle, which you did.
Growing up, we've all believed that my dad's side of the family was from Italy. So it's still stuck in my head that my family's from Italy. Well, found out we've only got 2% of our genetics from Italy. But we're more England and German than we are Italian. But I don't care. I'm an Italian girl. I love so many things about Italy. I mean, just from seeing the pictures and everything, it's just such a beautiful country and everything. And just being able to go over there and say I've done it, it would be one of the best things that could ever happen.
So with you wanting to go to Italy and experience the culture based off of your childhood stuff, is there anything in particular you love Italy the most? The food, the culture, history?
The food, definitely the food. I love any type of pasta, homemade pasta, you know, fresh pasta. I want to see what it's like to actually have true Italian food, not American Italian. I want to see what true Italian food is.
For those who may be watching who are American and only knew about Italy from like Olive Garden, what is the difference between pure Italian and Italian American? What is that difference?
A lot of our stuff is manufactured. Got a lot of, you know, preservatives and stuff in it. And that's what, you know, we have here. But when you think about going over to actually Italy, they do everything fresh. Everything's scratch. So, I mean, you know, a lot of the families make their noodles fresh and everything, make their pasta sauce fresh. So that's what I mean. Don't do it from a box or from pre-made pastas and stuff like that. So, I mean, I want the real deal.
Okay. Is there a part of Italian history that you are interested in, or culture, or is it more about
Rome?
Rome.
Rome. There's so many things that I want to see, and so many things that are part of the culture and part of things that we grew up learning about in school, and you know, the Roman Empire and stuff like that. So it's just things like that that I want to see. And then, you know, Sicily is where we always thought that we were from. So granted, I don't know a lot about Sicily, but I know that from what I've been told from people that have family members still there, that Sicily is the best place to have true pizza. I mean, true pizza. So I want to see what true pizza is, you know. So I want to see what it's like to have fresh and everything, not this Americanized stuff that we all have grown up to know. So it's just like in France, I want to see what the cheese, you know, and French wine and, you know, stuff like that. Italy, or in England, teas, you know, they have tea time. I want to see what that's all about. I want to experience that on a daily basis, you know, at that 2 o'clock bell, that you got to be ready to pour yourself a cup of tea, or going to pour yourself a cup of tea. So I want to be part of that and everything, because I mean, now that we've done our genetics and I found out that we're more from Wales and, you know, that area, that I would like to start experiencing that. Plus the fact I'm a big Harry Potter fan. So I want to go to London and see all the Harry Potter stuff. So, and a couple of my TikTokers that I watch are from England. So Don Farmer and Josh. Josh is here in America right now. He's doing an American thing, him and his buddy Jason. So, you know, they're seeing what America's like. Well, let me go over there and see what England's about. So.
Okay. So you have a lot of fantastic things you want to do. Why are you not doing it now? Or are we making an effort to make that happen?
We are. We got to save money. We got to finish putting you through college. Your sister's going in the 8th grade now, so we got to start saving up for her to be able to go through college, because, you know, we're not going to deny her of us paying her way too. We let you go through college without debt. It's not an easy thing to do in today's society, but your dad and I are making it, and we're making it work, and we're, you know, we were able to get you through school. We were able to get you a car so that you can enjoy your senior year at Ball State.
Shout out.
Chirp, chirp. But it's just a matter of, we have a lot of things that we want to do here in the U.S. Like right now, we're talking about next summer, since it will be your last free summer before you have to go to work. But we're talking about going to Canada and spending the night, or spending some time in Canada, so we can go to Niagara Falls. So, you know, our first out of the country experience. But we've got to get, we have to get passports and stuff like that before we can make all that happen. So there's a lot of stuff that we still need to do, but I've got until next summer to get everything taken care of. So, and that'll be our tax check. that we use so that we can experience that all together, because it's something that none of us has done. And then, of course, you know, we'll go and start seeing other places, start going west and everything. So just see where things lead us.
Okay, the philosophy of that question, because it's on the deeper end of the question to a lot of people, even though it seems like you already have a game plan figured out, is simply the Stoic idea of death can happen at any time, but when you have a time limit, people start having a plan for everything, because they're able to throw away both.
So we're still on the death thing, or are we like talking real life now?
Like, we can talk death. It's just the question I asked. If you only have 1 year left to live,
Okay, well,
fill everything out.
I mean, if we only had 1 year and I had the money to do it, we would start tomorrow. I mean, that's a definite. We would probably start here in the U.S. though, let you guys see the West all together and everything. And I'm more of a car rider, so I love to see the scenery. So we would enjoy car rides all around the U.S. and everything. And once we got done there, we would, you know, we've already done Hawaii, thanks to your band. Would go to up to Alaska, see that, go to Puerto Rico, go to the Virgin Islands, see all of the U.S. first, so you guys can say, hey, I did that with Mom. And then start our trip overseas. But realistically, I would love to start it and start doing all this stuff, but you know, I'm an adult. I don't have the luxury of saying, you know, oh, I can go here and go there, because I have to work 5 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week. You know, your dad has to work anywhere between 10 to 12 hours a day so that we can get you kids to where you need to go. So, you know, not only do we have to get Rebecca through school, but eventually, hopefully, she's going to think about getting married. Well, that falls on us because we are the parents of the bride. So we will have to pay for that wedding. And you know your sister as much as I do, that she's going to have an extravagant wedding. So.
Because again, the both of us are polar opposites. I'm middle.
Exactly.
Michigan. She wants every square millimeter of that room filled or something.
She's not a girly girl, but she is definitely a girl that likes certain things. So, but I love her, and I love you. You guys are nothing alike, but you are alike. So.
But both annoying for starters.
I didn't say that.
But yeah, but going back to the philosophy, the whole Stoic belief is that if you boil it down, it's don't be afraid of death,
right?
A boy, and live every day like it's your last.
And that's a philosophy that I do live with. You know, I try to enjoy everything that I do. Like I said, I love what I do now. You know, I loved being a teacher for a little while. Not a teacher, sorry. I guess I can't say that. I was a building sub, but a lot of the teachers considered me a teacher, even though I wasn't. You know, I loved it then, but I didn't realize how stressed out I was doing that. But now this position that I'm in, it is like truly wonderful. My anxiety has truly went down. I love my job. I really, really, really love my job.
I know you can't talk about your current job
right.
at the moment, for obvious reasons, but your previous job. Why do you think being a substitute teacher stressed you out so much? And can you explain the actual duties of a sub teacher for those who may not understand the responsibilities of a substitute teacher?
You sure you want me to go there?
It's up to you. Say what you feel comfortable saying.
Kids nowadays make it stressful on teachers. When I was in school, we knew that we were there to learn. We were there for 7.5 hours a day, that we had a job to do, and our job was to learn what the teachers were teaching us. We didn't test them. We didn't try to say, you know, oh no, I ain't doing that, or I didn't, you know, we never stood up and talked back to teachers like the kids do nowadays. But that's the difference between my generation and the generation that's now, because, you know, Gen X, they call us wild children because weekends, we were kicked out the door first thing in the morning and told not to come back until the lights came on in the streets. You know, we were feral. We did what we wanted to do. We had our limits. Our parents told us our limits, our boundaries, and we stayed within those boundaries. You know why we stayed in between those boundaries? Not that we were scared of our parents. Well, some of us were, but we respected our parents. They asked us to do this, and we did this. So that was what we did. You know, you stood out of line and parents were able to discipline you. I'm not talking about some of the parents that took discipline to the wrong direction and abused their children. I'm talking about the parents like I had. If I stepped out of line, they would talk to me and they would scold me, and I got grounded. My groundments was no telephone, no itty bitty TV that I had, black and white, no radio, no Walkman, books in your room. Come out, go to the bathroom, go back to your room, read. Come out, eat at the kitchen table with the family, go back to your room and read. Bed at a certain time when you're grounded, usually an hour before time. So if I was in trouble, I went to bed at 7:30, 8, somewhere around there. So, you know, that was the way we grew up. So, you know, we talk shit, but it's nothing that we wouldn't say to someone's face either. If I say something to, you know, you, and you go to that person and tell them, hey, you said, you know, she said this about you, and that person comes up to me and says something, I'll say, yeah, I said it. And is it true or not true? Plain and simple. I'm not on talk shit. I'm not on a, you know, lie about someone. If they've done this, they've done it. So come at me if you want to. I'm here. That's my philosophy. You know, in school, that's how I was. You got something to say it to my face. If you can't say it to my face, then you're a bitch. So, you know, kids nowadays hide behind their phones, got a text, oh, you're such a dirt. And then when you're in school, they, you know.
So, Bill, so most of my generation, Gen Alpha, which I'm concerned about, basically hide behind a mask online. And then when it comes to actually meeting the person face-to-face, Bill counts.
Well, some of them. But some of them have been raised to where instead of putting up your fist and fighting this way, they want to grab a knife, grab a gun, and they think they're defending themselves that way. You know, calling someone a bitch is no deadly offense. You know, you're allowed to call a cop a bitch, and they cannot do anything. That's a law. You have the right to say what you want to a police officer. Maybe not the president, but to a police officer, you do. You know?
I'll be surprised you were able to get up to a president without some type of doing all black
right
up to you before you
right.
get a chance to look at it.
So, I mean, you know, I'm not saying that everything is correct nowadays or when I was in school. You know, we live in different generations. My parents were seen, not heard. You know, that was the very silent generation. You know, you grew up and you better damn well do what your parents said or they would knock your head off. You know, do I agree with that? No. But are my parents and a lot of their friends like the best people I have ever known in my life? Yes. Because they know what respect is, and you've got to earn respect to get respect. You're not born with respect. So, I mean, kids nowadays, a lot of the parents, and I'm not saying all parents, I'm just saying there are a lot of parents that are in the generation that is called the me generation that have young kids now. And they're so wrapped up about what they're doing that they let their kids do whatever they want to do, as long as they don't bug them, So those are the kids that I'm worried about. Those are the kids that I thought I was feral. But those are the kids that are truly feral because we had boundaries. We had rules. We knew not to break them. The kids nowadays don't give a shit about the rules. Don't give a shit about law. Don't give a shit about rules. Because they think that, lay a hand on me, I'm gonna sue you. You lay a hand on me and, that's all it's gonna take. I'll kill you. That's how a lot of them are raised now. So.
Okay. If you had to give advice for someone who may be watching this who's about to enter the education world, you as a sub or an actual teacher?
Oh yeah, you did ask me that. Enjoy it. Definitely go through, don't be a sub. I mean, be a sub if that's what you want to be and you just want, a part-time job or whatever, and you don't care. Be a sub. But if you truly want to be an educator, go through the education process. Get your degrees. Take all the extra schoolings to learn how to deal with your own anxieties, your own emotions, so that you can help these kids deal with theirs. I didn't have that education with being a substitute of a building. I was an elementary sub, and I enjoyed it. I really did. But the only thing I didn't enjoy was going into the rooms that had the kids that they didn't care who you were, whether you were the teacher, the principal, whatever. They were on a talk back. If they didn't want to do something, they weren't going to do it. Well, I'm the type that says, okay, fine, it's your grade, not mine. You don't want to do it, I can't make you. You're right. I cannot make you do your work. But if you want to keep disrupting the class, I can have you leave the room and go elsewhere. And a lot of times that's what I did. I put up with a lot. A lot of the kids in the classes I loved so wholeheartedly. Even the bad kids. There were so many of them that I truly, really cared for. There was one that when I first met this individual, I wasn't sure about them. I'll just say them because I don't want to specify. But by the time that person graduated 6th grade, I absolutely adored that person. Did they make me upset a lot? Yeah. But, it is what it is. It's today's kids. I mean, my own daughter is a today's kid. She's going in the 8th grade. Does she aggravate me? Hell yeah.
But don't most kids, even the most well-behaved.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so basically, one of the last questions I was going to ask you was, during your lifetime, was there any position or job that you were able to get into or almost was able to get into that you feel comfortable talking about, and what lessons you won from it?
All my positions that I've ever done, I've always learned stuff. I've been a sub. I work for the state now. I've worked for Brownsburg wastewater treatment plant. I've worked in pizza joints and fast foods, and I've worked a lot of different jobs. I was a hairstylist, a cake decorator. I'm a Jill of all trades. And I've learned something from everything. And one thing that I do know, that you never stop learning. No matter how old you are, you learn something new every day. And if you're not learning something new every single day, then you're not living life.
That's a powerful quote. What's there anything you wanted to do in life but never been able to because you wasn't qualified, or you had some type of situation that came up that forced you to not be able to do it full time? Or
I always wanted to go to college. I hated school, but I did want to go to college, but I couldn't afford that. So if I would have went to college when I wanted to, I would have been a flower designer, because that's what I took in the Career Center at Ben Davis. I took horticulture. And Mr. Tomaszak, I love that man. He taught us a lot. He let us do a lot. But I really learned a lot of stuff from him, and I loved working with flowers. But that was the 18, 19-year-old me too. If I could do something now, learn a lot more about my position that I'm at, and slowly move up.
Okay.
So.
Can you briefly describe a flower designer? Like, what exactly is that?
A flower designer? Yeah. You know how I hate to use this as an example, well, weddings. You know how they've got all the flowers arranged and everything? Well, you have to arrange those flowers a certain way to make the decoration be the way you want it to be. Just like looking around here, you can see the flowers and everything. Yeah, this wasn't a flower designer, but it was a flower designer because they put this together. Who thought of doing the flowers in like an old type of bucket? It's beautiful. I mean, this whole place is beautiful, what they've done. So this is designing. This is putting flowers together that goes together, that makes a beautiful place to sit, to look at, everything. But you've also got flower designers that have to put funeral stuff together. And you know how some of those bouquets on top of the casket are so beautiful. Someone's got to do that. And that's a flower designer.
Okay. So, my last question to you before we close off. If you were told by a director that you're going to have a movie about, and you get to choose the title exactly how you want it, what will you
Jill of all traits. Okay. That describes me.
All right.
It really does. I'm a mother first, a mother and a wife first. And then I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. So, Jill of all traits.
Okay. Is there anything you want to shout out before we close this off?
Watch his YouTube. Wall Street Productions.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
No problem. Can I do it? Bye.
Technically, we could have gone longer. It's just that my camera has a recorded limit of 30 minutes.
Oh.
I told you.